In the East London district of Chingford, where I live, there have been two disturbing incidents. Most recently, a 26-year-old man was stabbed to death on a Sunday evening. I witnessed the aftermath as the paramedics performed CPR in vain and the street flooded with police officers. The suspect, a young man of seemingly Iranian origin, was later arrested while attempting to flee on a cross-channel ferry. This was shocking enough, but it followed another situation in June, which shattered the comfortable suburban world most Chingfordians are accustomed to. Indeed, it seemed out of place anywhere in the UK, like something from a failed state. In April, an 80-year-old lady reportedly left her house for a few days to visit a friend in nearby Hymes Park. When she returned, it seems, she found a group of people had broken in and changed the locks. It is believed they were Roma gypsies, these ones holding Romanian nationality. There is some confusion about what happened then. The lady presumably called the police, but I'm not sure exactly when. When the officers came, it seems, the inhabitants claimed they were tenants and the woman was their landlady. They supposedly showed the officers a fake tenancy agreement, although this is disputed by some. Incredibly, the police decided there was nothing they could do, that it was now a civil matter and would have to go to court. As I will explain in due course, it was very much a criminal matter. In law, if someone is squatting on your property, you have to apply to court for an interim possession order, IPO, within 28 days. If it is granted, the police can order the squatters to leave within 24 hours and to stay away from the property for a year. After the IPO is issued, or indeed it has not been issued, you have to apply for a permanent possession order. If you have not obtained an IPO, this of course means that while you're waiting, the squatters can remain there, trashing your property. A local councillor, who had been working with the local MP Ian Duncan Smith, claimed the 28-day window had been missed. Sir Ian was apparently made aware of the situation in May, after the IPO window closed. I am quite alarmed that the police, if indeed they came straight after the crime was reported, did not advise the woman to apply for one. That was the very least they could do. Ideally, of course, the response would have involved a hammer to the door and liberal use of CS gas and batons. Only if necessary, officers. Presumably, Sir Ian would agree, as he said he was astounded at how weakly the police reacted. Indeed, you could argue this was not a case of squatting. Legally, squatters are trespassers trying to live in a building without permission. It is legal, unfortunately, to squat in a non-residential building, like a shop or a warehouse, even if you break in. If you cause damage when doing so, steal or vandalise, or refuse a court order to leave, then it is a crime. With residential buildings, however, namely private homes, it is not legal to squat. It is an explicitly criminal matter, and there are no grounds to claim so-called squatters' rights, unless you are an overstaying tenant, which was likely the card being played by the suspects in this instance. This was not a case until 2012, when a clause in the Legal Aid Sentencing and Punishment of Offenders Act made it illegal. The law was brought in because of widespread squatting in homes and legal confusion. You could argue then this was really a case of alleged burglary and fraud, although squatting was the eventual charge. Could it be that serving police officers are unclear about the law of the land? It wouldn't be the first time. You would have thought, in such a situation, a senior officer might have been consulted. If nobody up the chain of command knew this, then we have a real problem. If there was a convincing fake tenancy agreement produced, which Sir Ian disputes, and if the old lady was unable to prove the tenants were lying, then you can understand how dealing with the situation became more complicated. You would hope, however, that the police would have been able to determine whether the poor lady was the rightful owner and permanent resident. Common sense would have told them that the distraught old British woman was genuine, and the dodgy foreigners with flashy cars were up to something. And beyond gut feeling, there would have been ways to check. We don't know what went on, but could they not have questioned her neighbours or contacted her family? Could they not have checked the records of the inhabitants for any suspicious convictions, or checked with any companies named in, if there was one, the tenancy agreement? Perhaps they might have effected an entry, believing a crime was occurring, to search for evidence. Did they even apply for a warrant from a judge to do so? It really does seem that they were too cautious, or perhaps uncaring or incompetent. In June, a local resident took to Nextdoor to raise awareness about the situation. This was when I and many others became aware of it. The house, he claimed, had around 25 people in it, groups congregating outside, and was being visited by carloads of men. Some speculated that the house was being stripped of anything of value, or even that a brothel or meth lab had been set up. There was no proof of these things, but it didn't seem impossible. It was also claimed that multiple houses in Chingford had been targeted, which our MP would later appear to confirm. Whether this was true is not yet clear, though my instincts say it was.